Have you heard of the Bermuda Triangle? It's a place in the Atlantic Ocean where planes vanish, ships disappear, and no one knows why. Many call it the Devil's Triangle because of these strange events. Is it a true danger or just a story? Let's dive into the mystery and find out. The Bermuda Triangle lies between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. It's a massive area of the ocean, 500,000 square miles. This region is one of the busiest for ships and planes. Yet it's famous for odd stories of disappearing vessels, making many wonder what's really happening there. Stories of the Bermuda Triangle go back hundreds of years. Christopher Columbus reported strange lights in the sky and compass problems. Over time, more ships and planes have vanished, leaving no trace behind. Could these disappearances be random, or is there something mysterious going on? Flight 19 is one of the most famous Bermuda Triangle mysteries. In 1945, 5 Navy planes disappeared on a training mission. The pilots said their compasses failed, and they were lost. A rescue plane sent to find them also vanished. No wreckage was ever found, adding to the mystery. In 1963, the SS Marine Sulphur Queen, a ship carrying molten sulfur, vanished in the Bermuda Triangle. Its 39 crew members were never found, and no wreckage was discovered. Some believe it sank due to bad weather, while others think something more mysterious happened. The truth remains unknown. Experts say the Bermuda Triangle's mystery could be due to natural causes. The area has sudden storms, rough waves, and strong ocean currents. These forces can sink ships and crash planes without warning. While this explains many cases, it doesn't solve all the mysteries of this region. Some scientists think the Bermuda Triangle has strange magnetic fields. These fields might confuse compasses, making it hard for ships and planes to find their way. If navigation tools fail, it's easy to get lost at sea. This theory explains some disappearances, but not all of them. Another idea is methane gas from the ocean floor. When large bubbles of gas rise to the surface, they can make the water unstable. This could cause ships to sink suddenly. While there's evidence of methane in the area, this theory can't explain every incident in the Bermuda Triangle. Some people think aliens caused the strange events in the Bermuda Triangle. They say UFOs might steal ships and planes there. There's no real proof, but this idea is still famous. Why? Maybe because it's fun to imagine. Do you believe aliens are behind the mystery? Or is it just a story? Scientists say the Bermuda Triangle isn't as mysterious as stories claim. Like other oceans, storms, rough seas, or human mistakes cause most accidents here. These real reasons, not aliens or magic, explain disappearances. So, maybe the triangle is just normal? What do you think? Science says the Bermuda Triangle isn't that mysterious, but people still talk about it. It's in books, movies, and shows. Why? Mysteries like ghost ships or lost planes grab attention. Even with science explaining things, the legend stays popular. Some stories from the Bermuda Triangle have clear explanations, like storms or mechanical issues. But others remain a mystery with no evidence to explain them. This mix of fact and mystery keeps people wondering. Could there still be secrets hiding beneath the waves? What do you think? Is the Bermuda Triangle a real danger or just a story? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for more amazing mysteries, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time. Goodbye for now, and see you soon with another incredible story.